in the center ring of the conservative circus, we have Representative Andy Biggs. And Congressman, what do you make of the Nord Stream 2 situation?
Well, it's a really serious situation because it was obviously sabotage. So, I mean, that's what everybody, credible source and also the incredible sources all agree that it was sabotage. So it was a deliberate act. And the question, of course, is who did it? Some people have said the U.S. has done it and because of the things that you just alluded to. Some people say Russia did it, and others say, well, why would Russia do that? All they have to do is turn off the flow. They keep their pipeline intact. They don't end up because some people are saying that the pipeline is probably forever unusable now. So the question is, who might have actually done this? What country? What non nation state actors? So what terrorists might have done it? Eco terrorists or whatever. But everybody's pointing at each other because this is going to be an environmental disaster and an energy disaster in Western Europe for this coming winter.
Yeah, an environmental disaster. I mean, we're talking about the methane that is bubbling up. They got pictures of it for those people who believe in global warming and that kind of stuff. Well, this is a catastrophe. And would the United States of America put themselves in a position to do this? I mean, the only real players are Russia and the United States and NATO. And as you said, they're both pointing fingers at each other. We're getting news that the U.S. Embassy in Russia is telling U.S. citizens to leave the country as soon as possible. This really is a dangerous situation, and I'm surprised that, well, I know we got a hurricane going on, but I'm surprised that this is not the topic of discussion in more media outlet.
James, you're exactly right. I went through CNN, MSNBC. I had to put on my hazmat suit to do it. But as I went in to look to see who was covering this on the left stream media, nobody's covering this. I mean, there's just they're buried articles. They're not complete. They don't talk. I mean, there is a lot to unpack with this very serious situation. It puts us in a real tipping point. And I'm glad you brought up the fact that at the same time that this happens, there were two other consequential things that happened. The U.S. Embassy told Americans, get out of Russia immediately. And then the second thing is there was an opening of another pipeline,
yes.
This one from Sweden, the North Atlantic down into Europe. So, this is you are on the cusp of a very big spread of that Russian-Ukraine conflict into a broader conflict, quite frankly.
This is what really has me very concerned because we're tracking this. You're right, absolutely. You got a pipeline coming out, something to do coming through Poland. That automatically the day after this explosion, as a matter of fact, we had Germans actually protesting that they turned the gas on. Then we get the explosion. Then we get the announcement that there's a brand new pipeline that's going to be supplying Europe. And you gotta think that if Russia did not do this to themselves, I mean, we've just raised the ante big time, and it seems to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see where are the diplomats in the Biden administration? Where are the people calling for peace? Where are the people calling to sit down and work this thing out? It seems to me that the Biden administration is ratcheting things up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been calling on for, as you know, for almost a year now since this started, is indicating that there should be a diplomatic solution between Ukraine and Russia, but instead of diplomacy, what we see happening is our administration, when I say ours, I mean America's administration, Blinken is missing. He's MIA here. And you don't see the NATO leaders calling for a stand down. You don't see any European leaders start talking about it. They just say, well, it's going to have to play itself out. And that's really not wise. If the U.S. is going to be a leader, which, under previous administration under Trump, he was a leader and he would get these things together. Under this guy, Joe Biden, he's not bringing people together. He's not bringing us to a more stable in government, not government, but relationship between governments in the world. In fact, we're talking right now, you and I are talking about the seriousness of Russia, Ukraine, and what's happening there. don't forget, you've got China, you've got
Right.
North Korea, all these other areas that this administration has inflamed instead of settling them down.